You're watching the Battered Fans Network.
Chris, the Herons are back. Welcome, everybody, to episode number 271 of the Battered Herons podcast. I am your host, Daniel Granat, and alongside me, as always, Mr. KBD. How are you doing, sir?
It feels like it's been a while since we've done this. It feels like it's been a while.
It's been a while since it's been me and you, for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
But, oh, wait, didn't we do the post game together?
We did. Yes, we did.
It hasn't been that long. Then it's been like
it
4 or 5
feels
days.
like it. I mean, we've been doing shows like crazy all over the place.
Yeah, we usually do 3 to 4 shows, and then I felt like this week we took a longer break than usual.
Yeah.
Sunday, Monday, 2 solid 3 days without recording.
It feels like an eternity.
That is a lot for us. But how are you doing, sir?
Yeah, man, everything good, dude. I mean, the big game this week, right? I mean, all of Ohio is looking at us.
Oh, well, yeah, F Ohio. Even though Ohio's still in it, even though Columbus got eliminated.
Yeah.
Mike B saying Tata out. How about Nancy out?
Yeah.
How about that? Yeah. How about we visit that conversation? How about Nancy out?
Yeah.
Before I forget, I don't want to forget. I'm in my Christmas spirit.
Spanish.
And we did do Spanish also. We did Spanish on Monday. Chris, we've had one day off.
Well, yeah. I mean, oh well.
I am in my Christmas
I love that
spirit.
shirt, by the way.
I start celebrating Christmas November 1st. Automatic. My wife hates it. She wants me to wait until after Christmas. November 1st is when I start.
Until after Thanksgiving.
That's when she wants to, but no, I disagree. I like to. So just real quick, I wanted to make sure that I didn't forget to bring this up right here. BatteredFans.com. We're doing 20% off from now until December 10th, because that's the last day I can guarantee, or we can guarantee, that you will be getting your shirts in time for Christmas. So just in case you guys want to visit, we got a ton of shirts there. So go ahead, visit BatteredFans.com. 20% off with promo code HO24. I know, not the most original thing in the world, but it works. So 20% off from now until December 10th. So BatteredFans.com, HO24. It's going to be a messy Christmas. So, all right, I want to make sure I got that out the way before we kept going.
I just want to mention a couple comments here. The real Akeno is saying, have you heard about Miami wanting another Argentine goalkeeper?
No.
I mean, what? One, I haven't heard of it, but like, is one not enough? Is one Argentine goalkeeper not enough? Mike V saying CJ Dos Striker will be starting at center back. I wouldn't doubt it. I really wouldn't doubt it. And Rio Akeno, yes, ugly Xmas sweaters. We'll see.
Yes,
we'll see.
You can get on the website. It's 20% off starting now until December 10th. And oh no, Tommy, we're doing the preview show tomorrow, Tommy, and Tommy turned us down. So don't I don't want to hear, oh, Danny's scared of Tommy. Blah, blah, blah. No. Tommy said he couldn't come on Thursday, so he will not be part of the preview episode tomorrow night. And like back to the ugly sweaters comment, we're gonna keep adding things from here till December 10th, but you can already start going on and getting there. It's funny because now that Tommy came up here, we were messing around with the idea of doing a Saba time, but then I was like, I don't know if I want to do that. Put that up on the store right now and jinx us. So it's in the back burner. But a Saba, 50% off after Miami loses Saturday.
Yeah, that's what Tommy's hoping for sure.
Yeah. All right. Well, maybe then I'll put up the Saba shirt for sale. All right. Anyway, so let's get into it. It's a big week for Miami. A lot of things to get into. I don't know what you want to start off with.
Well, I mean, first let's talk about like what's happened, right? Like we talked a little bit about this on the Spanish show, that Messi hasn't been playing like Messi, right? Like it's kind of scary. He's played okay.
I've heard a lot of people criticizing him, saying that he's disappeared in the big moments, or that he's not earning his money. I'm kind of curious what you think or what the chat thinks before I give you my 2 cents.
Well, technically, like earning his money, I mean, he makes big money, but he doesn't make like big money according to like payroll. And I mean, he does, yes, but like he's Messi. But like I said, he's not playing up to his standard, right? He isn't playing his best. He's playing good, but he's not playing his best. at least what's expected. Like everybody expects him to bang in 2 goals and an assist on average per game. I mean, look, when you're a player like that, like I think the ceiling is just so high, it's impossible. If you can't meet it, then people are going to start doubting. I'm not doubting. I think he's going to come into this game.
You don't think he played well the first game?
I think he played fairly. I think he played fairly well both games. I don't think that he played outstanding last game. Right? I feel like he did get a little lost in the sauce last game, but like other than that, I feel like he's played pretty well.
You know why? And I'm not saying you specifically, but you know what? That kind of stuff annoys me. Because if hypothetically, remember he got caught offside and he hit that header for a goal.
Yes.
Right? If that is the only difference, right? Let's say that weird Brad Guzan goal doesn't happen, right? And then we still lose 2-1, but Messi had that header goal and it counted. All of a sudden, Messi did his part. Messi played great.
Yes.
Just because he has the goal. Take the goal and assist aside. Everything else, he played well. He was the only one creating for the team. He hit Jordi Alba with a beautiful through ball that should have seen the back of the net if Diego Gomez doesn't, I don't know, slow down for whatever reason and ends up on the other end of that. I think Messi was the best player offensively, at least on Saturday. And I thought the first game he played great. It's just Brad Guzan played out of his mind because Messi had a few opportunities that first game. And yeah, you want him to finish them. But like we said, and we all recognize, Brad Guzan was playing out of his mind that game.
Well, and Michael is mentioning here they're swarming Messi when he has the ball, which is, I mean, it's granted. Listen, I feel like Diego Gomez had a really good game last game. I feel like Diego Gomez, even though he could have really put a goal in as well, Diego Gomez, for the most part, the thing is, you have to understand, like I said, I think the expectations for each player are a little different, right? Diego Gomez has the game that he has last game, and people are saying he played well. Right? He wasn't offensively contributing greatly, but at the same time, you don't look at Diego Gomez for that sort of contribution. You look at Messi for that. So, I mean, unfortunately, he didn't bang in the header. He didn't bang in a banger. So, like, people are going to look at that and be like, where's he at?
Oh, man, look, he would have gotten the hockey assist, as they call it, for that Diego Gomez one. He got an assist in the first game. He had a couple great shots on goal that Brad Guzan stopped. I don't know. I think that people are playing the stat sheet way too much right now when they're looking at Messi, because he spoiled them, right? Because we were saying like he's the MVP because he's averaging almost 2 goal contributions per game. Like he gets on the pitch, you almost guaranteed 2 goals. So he doesn't do it for 2 games, and all of a sudden everybody's like, "Oh, this guy is fucking falling off. He's not showing up in the big moments." And I think that's a horrible way to look at it because I think he has played well.
I mean, it is terrible to look at it that way, but again, I think what you're missing is, and maybe I'm wrong here, but that's just the unfortunate circumstances of being Messi. Like you're just sort of like expected to be this like mythical character.
I get it.
You're not going to expect Robert Taylor to be getting out of those situations in the same stride.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. You want Messi, like, all right, Messi, we're lost. Throw us on your shoulders and
but he's
take us to victory. Right. And he's still playing well. It's just unfortunately this isn't the NBA. The NBA, you got LeBron James. All right, man up, don't pass the ball and drop 50.
Yeah.
It's different.
5 on 5. If
they're swarming you, if they're swarming you when you're playing football or soccer, then all right, create for somebody else. And I think he was trying to do that the best he could. I mean, he was dropping that back to the midfield to get the ball to start creating for other people. I know. I think that people are overdoing it a little bit too much. That's just what I'm saying.
Again, I don't think you're wrong in saying that. I think that you're absolutely right. And I think that people are sort of blowing it out of proportion. But I feel like, unfortunately, when you become a player of that sort of magnitude, and again, we're talking about like American point of view here. Yeah. I don't think that people that religiously follow soccer out in other countries will have the sort of same expectation. It's like you said, in basketball, you got LeBron James, the other 4 guys move over, don't pass the ball, LeBron James takes over. But in soccer,
Kobe Bryant, because LeBron passes a little more. Kobe Bryant, the Mamba.
Take over.
Mm-hmm.
And so the thing is, in soccer, I mean, you have 11 on 11, 10 on 10 if you don't count the goalies, but like there's no way of doing that. there's no way of being able to open the game up like that and say Messi put us on your back. But at the same time, Messi is a unicorn, so it's like, give me Messi, give me godly plays, because that's what I expect from Messi the God.
Just off topic, but I read this and I need to know: are you being like Bigote? Do you really put salt in your drinks? Do you, Chris? Have you ever put salt in any of your beverages?
That's a negative. Why would I do that? Why would I destroy
maybe he meant
my
sugar.
beverage?
Maybe he meant sugar.
Maybe because you're talking. I mean, I don't know, but he's saying put some more salt on.
And he's saying 1,000%. I've never put salt. I'm not a big salt person though.
Who's like putting salt on their drinks?
El Bigote apparently. Oh, okay. Corona, but that's on the rim. Come on. Yeah.
What are you doing, Bigote? He's talking about drinking Mas Plus, not freaking Corona. Like, of course
salt
you're gonna
Corona. Okay, I take it back. Yes, on the Corona. All right, I got you. Okay, alcoholic beverage. Okay, my fault, Bigote. That's my fault. I was thinking other things. Okay, got you.
Well, in it, and let me tell you, Bigote's mentioning in it, not the rim. That's true, because you should take. Put it in it. Yes,
I put the lime and I push it in.
Correct, you push. But you should top it with the thumb, flip the drink over. Right? I mean, you've seen me do this. Flip the drink over, and the lemon, the lime goes right up into the drink. The salt goes into the drink, and it's like all mixed in there. You flip it back up, and
that's why you put that in there. Yeah.
Yes.
But look, he's saying to do it with the Mas Plus.
That's disgusting.
That's interesting.
That's
disgusting. I mean, this is the flavor to do it with, limon lime.
I mean, that's not, none of the flavors are to do it. What you need to do is just throw those in the garbage is what you need to do. It's an awful drink.
Yeah, all right.
And then here comes Mr. Krabs. He's going to be like, well, how's your Chris Plus drink? Get out of here, Mr. Krabs. I beat you to it, buddy.
All right. I lost my train of thought because I saw that and I was confused. I never.
Yeah, we were talking Messi. Being
Messi. Yeah. So as far as Messi goes, I understand. Like, okay, I'll give you. Let's jump to it, right? I know tomorrow's a preview show, but let's jump to it. If Saturday comes and he plays another good game, right? Solid game, but he doesn't end up scoring. He doesn't get an assist, and we lose. Although I think it's unfair if he still had a good game, at that point, I'm like, all right, 3 games, maybe I'll understand it a little more, because at that point our season is over, and you would hope that Messi magic can carry us to a victory on Saturday at home. Then maybe, and even then, if he plays a good game, we'll be like, but come on, he had a good game. But then I would understand the complaints maybe a little bit more. But right now, we won the first game. He had an assist. The second game, he was the best offensive player, and they won basically at the death. No, but if we get eliminated and he doesn't end up with any goal contributions, then I could understand that opinion a little bit more. A little bit more.
I have a question, and see if the chat can chime in. See if the chat can chime in. Put a percentage here, like 10, 20, 30, 40, whatever. What percentage of the fan base, nice one, Krabs, I see that, and I call it lemon lime. What percentage of the fan base do you think would rail Messi and say he still didn't do enough if Messi gets on? If Messi gets on and he scores a goal,
the OGs that are upset that they can't tailgate next to the players walking out anymore.
Yeah, probably. So I'd say what, like 20%, 30%?
30 people, 40 people, yeah.
30. Okay, all right. So basically, you would have that amount of people.
Mike Longin, Brandon, them.
They'll say he didn't do enough.
He didn't do enough. Mike Longin specifically. Shout out to the Into Miami show. Him specifically.
Yeah. I mean, look, I think if he gets on the field, on the pitch, and he scores a goal and has an assist and we lose, I mean, he's still going to get the you didn't do enough. He's still going to get that.
I think if we lose, he'll get it. Tata will get his Tata out stuff again. Yeah, 100%. But, okay, now let's get into it, because this is one of our topics. If we lose on Saturday, then what?
We have a Spanish, Mr. Krabs, OC Don Cangrejo. What? What? There are 2 Krabs into this? This is ridiculous.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That is ridiculous.
Yes. Oh, look at this, Mr. Krabs. Mr. Krabs, the English one, is saying 100% of the fans. I mean,
all right. So Saturday,
yeah.
hypothetically, let's say we lose and get eliminated. What happens then?
People are rioting, apparently. People are rioting. I mean, I thought after yesterday people would be rioting, but
and if you've watched this enough, and yes, like Cafecito says, I don't think we're gonna lose, okay? But to the point, hey, Mr. Munoz, if we're going by the logical, we're gonna win, then we have no show. So, hypothetically, okay, this is sports talk, right? This is what we do in sports talk.
Yes.
So hypotheticals, right? We talk hypotheticals. Hypothetically, if we
lose
were to
4-0.
No, God, no. That would be a disaster. If we lose, I've been on here and I've said plenty of times that I can't say it is an utter failure to not win the cup. Not because I wouldn't be extremely disappointed, but because on a one-game elimination, just about anything can happen. A red card, an injury, just crazy things can happen, right? But if they lose and get eliminated in a 3-game series, that means you had to win 2 out of 3. It's not a, hey, you had one bad game, it happens. No, if they get eliminated on Saturday, I'm sorry. That is the biggest disaster that MLS has ever seen if that were to happen.
In history.
Oh, absolutely. Oh my God. You have to win 2 out of 3. I mean, you're allowed to have a stinker. I said, hey, if you don't win the MLS Cup, I'm disappointed, but man, shit happens. You'll win the other 9 out of 10, but that one game ended up happening. But if you lose twice in a 3-game series, I'm sorry. That is an utter disaster. At that point, Mike V, have your tata out, and everybody, you do whatever you want because it is a complete and utter disaster if they get eliminated on Saturday.
So I think the big difference here is, like, for example, a lot of the Columbus fans and a lot of people were talking crap online saying like, oh, well, Inter Miami shouldn't be talking crap because we still haven't won the series. You know, the big difference between us and Columbus, let's just get this out the way. We won our first game at home. So we do have a win. We won a game. And we won the game that we needed to win at home. Columbus dropped the ball on that one. Sorry, guys. You fucked that one up.
Yep.
But getting to a game 3, obviously it's more embarrassing because you're supposed to win 2 out of 3 as the better team, not only as the better team, but as the quote unquote seen as the best team ever in the history. This isn't just going to be like historically the biggest blunder. This might be historically and in the future no bigger blunder than this if we lose.
Bigote said it'll be the same magnitude of whatever happens when LAFC loses. I don't think so. LAFC just won, even though I'm not a fan of it, they just won the Open Cup 2 months ago.
Yeah.
They were MLS champs a couple of years ago. They were Supporter Shield winners a couple of years ago. Like, they've done a lot
recently.
And they don't have, like, I understand that they have a good roster, but I'm sorry, no MLS team has ever had the roster that we have right now, with the World Cup winners, the legends of this century, right? With Suarez, Messi, Albert. Like, no, you can't lose 2 out of 3. Look, if you make it to the Eastern Conference Final and somehow you poop the bed in penalties or something crazy happens, I still think it's a huge disappointment. I still understand. I would be upset. Everybody would be upset. But this losing 2 out of 3 to a shit team? No, I'm sorry. Because on top of everything, it's not even a good team. Atlanta was like the 9th seed. They had to play a playing game to make it. And not only did they not just win it, they had to win in penalties. Like, Atlanta shouldn't even be in the playoffs right now. And if you lose 2 out of 3 to them, I'm sorry. Complete and utter disaster. Embarrassment. I want to go put a brown paper bag over my head to that level. That level.
I mean, I'm pretty sure that a lot of people would be willing to put brown paper bags on their face, like in the home opener next year, if we lose this game.
No, by then we have like Neymar and stuff. Everybody's gonna be hyped up again.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So you think that Neymar's just gonna wash away the fact that we just lost with the best team we could possibly ever have in history? Stancy,
Yes.
look, I get it.
No,
Danny
no,
seems dramatic.
no
But
way.
it's
Stancy,
not dramatic
no.
at all. This is very accurate.
That's for you, Stancy.
The package, man. Come on.
Stancy, go ahead. And I want to hear, Stancy, what do you think of us losing a series? It's not a game.
A series.
Not a game. It's not. We're not talking about a game. Going Allen Iverson here. We're talking about a series.
Best 2 out of 3.
I'm sorry. Like in the NFL, bad teams win the Super Bowl because all they have to do is get hot and beat each team one time. In the NBA, you never see the bad teams win a championship because in the NBA, you got to win a series.
Yes.
The better team usually wins the series.
Usually, right.
Every once in a while, like I don't think the Red Bulls are better than Columbus, but usually, if you are the best MLS team of all time, point-wise in a regular season, and you lose to a team that shouldn't have even made the playoffs 2 out of 3 times, I'm sorry. Utter disaster.
Atlanta, right?
I don't think we're going to lose, but if we did, it's an utter disaster.
Atlanta right now shouldn't be in the playoffs. They should be shopping for strikers at this very moment. And they're fighting for their life with nothing to lose. This guy, Dax McCarthy, is literally encouraging the entire city of Atlanta, Georgia. I wouldn't be surprised. Listen, I took a picture of the visiting area last game. They filled in like 3 rows, 4 max. I wouldn't be surprised if they fill in that whole section this coming Saturday.
And honestly, born out of proportion, Jordan, after last game, we didn't blow it out of proportion. We didn't like go dramatic. We're saying if we lose again, if you lose 2 in a row and get eliminated by a bad team, I'm sorry, that's a disaster. It's an absolute disaster. If we lose 2 times in a row and have our season ended by these guys, it's a disaster. There's no other. I don't even know how to say it. And I try to be like the calm one, the relaxed. It's not that serious. You know, it's not a disaster if they don't win the MLS Cup. It's not cup or bust because anything can happen in a single elimination. But I'm sorry, if this were to happen, it's a disaster.
And I want to mention something because David Reichardt, we haven't heard from you in a while, so shout out to you. Says, no, who's the last shit team to win the Super Bowl? The Giants 13 years ago. And the worst part is that they beat the best team ever probably somewhat assembled in the National Football League. Undefeated.
That was 2007 when they did that. No, remember they beat the Patriots twice.
Oh, that's right. Yes, they did. That's right. They
beat them 2007 and 2011. But that happens more often in football than anywhere else because it's a single elimination.
Correct. Yes. And then look, Mr. Cangrejo says advantages of having toy grass. Absolutely. But guess what? You play on real grass 2 out of 3 times. So there's no excuses. This is not exaggerated, guys. Danny is not being dramatic. If we lose, it is literally a disaster. It's a complete and utter failure. This would be a failure if we lose to Atlanta.
Mm-hmm.
You know that Tommy one time is going to cut this clip up easy. if we lose, we're going to be on YouTube just saying this exact thing we're saying. It's going to be wild. Oh, Stancy with the hot take, liking Cangrejo better than crabs. And hold on, Mr. We got
Don Cangrejo is, but shout out to you. That's hilarious.
Munoz, Don Cabecito saying if Miami, we should make a bet of some kind. A bet. I don't want Atlanta to win. Danny doesn't want Atlanta to win.
And I don't think that Atlanta's going to win.
Yeah, we're just saying if we lose, it's going to be really bad. And then, this is a good take here.
He's not with us this week. Tonight, we're having the Battered MLS fan show. So at 10 o'clock, make sure you jump in to that show and join us in the chat. And we have an Atlanta guest, and Tommy's not there either because I honestly didn't want Tommy on. I don't want to hear his stupid face this week. I'll have him on next week when we beat him. So. And
Stancy's saying I should bet on Atlanta. Maybe it'll help. I think I might bet on Atlanta.
Chris should bet on Atlanta.
I think I'm going to bet on Atlanta. But then if I bet on Atlanta, everybody's going to be like, oh, it's because you didn't bet on Miami.
All right. You want to jump over to rumors now?
Yeah, I would love to talk about rumors as you talked about. Well, I mean, look at this. Pogba.
I haven't heard about any Pogba rumor. Like, man, I guess in passing, but
He
like
was
by
in the
fans,
last.
heard he was at he's been to like 2 games in the last couple months.
Yeah.
But I haven't heard anything about Pogba. I don't think he's coming. We can't afford him.
Steve Munoz saying if Miami loses, one of you guys should shave your face. How much y'all believe in Miami? I mean, I trim my beard, so it's not like a big deal. Danny, if he shaves his face, then he would look like
I look like a completely different person.
Yeah. I mean, I trim it. I keep it clean. I'm not a savage.
Do you think that any chance we have? I don't see. When you think about the roster coming up next year,
yeah,
what do you envision? Because I think that we'll still have Messi, obviously, Suarez,
Gomez
gone, but there would either be Farias or hypothetically maybe a Neymar, right? So something like that up top. Now, okay, or Robert Taylor, which I think he's gone, but maybe. And then we have our wing backs, Wegan and Alba will still be here. Our center backs, we have Martinez, which should still be here, and Toto Aviles will still be here. In our midfield, we still have Busquets, we'll still have Yannick Bright, we'll still have Redondo. Like, I don't see many places where we would fit a big name. Like, I guess Bright would just lose his spot if we bring somebody like Pogba, but I just don't see where the money for that would be either. I think that the big name is Neymar, and I think that that's who might come.
Well, Miem is saying we don't need Neymar. We have Farias. I mean, yeah. I mean,
Farias
we have wingers.
Decent.
We have wingers. Yeah. We also have what's this guy's face? What's this guy that got injured that was playing winger, but then could also be played as striker? Oh man, what's his name? The guy's name escapes me. Leo Alfonso.
Oh, I mean,
we also have Alfonso.
I don't want to talk down about the guy, but I wouldn't say I would necessarily like go into the season counting on him as a starting 11.
We can also get Emerson back. That'll work perfectly with Messi.
No, I'm good. Di Maria, I think
I'm good with Di Maria. I'm totally good with that.
Look, I think the Neymar thing has legs though, especially since the reports came out today that the Saudi team is ready to cut ties with him and let him go in the winter time right here. They're ready to let him go and walk.
This is a good question by English, Mr. Krabs. If Neymar doesn't come, what's the point of that guy who looks like a car salesman?
Hey,
that's a great question. That's a great one, Mr. Krabs. You just ranked up over Cangrejo.
Well, as soon as we signed Sanlehi, as soon as we got Sanlehi on board, I told you this is why we got him.
Yeah,
this has to be no other reason for him to get here. Campana, I think Campana's probably staying. I can't see him going anywhere either. I think that get comfortable with the team we have because I don't think we're going to be getting a lot of new pieces. I really don't. I could be completely wrong, and maybe they'll surprise me, but I don't think that there's many new pieces coming on board.
I think Christoph's off the books. I think that if Chris Henderson is here, he's going to move him. I think if Christoph is here, I mean, if Chris Henderson is here, he's going to move Christoph. I feel like and not only is he going to get moved, unfortunately,
out of here no matter who's running the team.
I feel like unfortunately Robert Taylor might get moved. I feel like he's probably going to make big money somewhere else because now we have Facundo coming back, and I feel like the team would rather have Facundo instead of Taylor. I mean, the only thing with Taylor is that he makes such a small amount of salary that it's actually kind of beneficial, the input that he has versus the amount of money.
Sure. When you have injuries or anything, look, as soon as we know that Taylor's coming in and he's starting a game, we feel pretty comfortable. We know he can make some magic. You know, he has that leg that could rifle one upper 90. So
I don't know about this opinion, Stancy. I don't know if he doesn't like Robert Taylor. I think he loves Robert Taylor. I feel like he loves the fact that he can plug and play him in a lot of places. What I feel is that he knows that Robert Taylor doesn't mesh well. I mean, maybe it's because they're just, he doesn't speak Spanish, or maybe it's also because the way that he plays is sort of against what it is that the tiki-taka with Jordi Alba and Busquets and Messi does. So I feel like maybe it might be counterintuitive to what their game plan is. I don't think that he doesn't like Robert Taylor.
Are you with me in the aspect of you think that the core of this team is basically going to stay the same? I mean, this is an expansion draft, and don't be surprised if Robert Taylor gets this taken, because we could only protect, I think it's like 12 players.
Yeah.
That's how we lost your boy Indiana Vasilev.
Yes. Now, I mean, let me look at this starting lineup. Like here, you had it as Busquets, and then what? Here we had.
We still have Gressel.
Yeah,
Bankrem. Like, there's not many new pieces coming to this team, man.
No way.
Neymar might take that Gomez spot. And then some people are like, but how? You have no money. We still have a DP spot technically. If we change our designation from 2 DPs and 4 U21s or U22s to 3 DPs, 3 U22s, we have that third DP spot waiting for him.
And in reality, a lot of people are mentioning that we should be shopping for defenders. Guys, let's not forget something here. We got Martinez that's been playing pretty effectively. We got Freire that was playing pretty effectively before he got injured. We got Frey, who didn't injure his ACL. It was, what was it, the MCL? So he's not taking on a ton of recovery, right? Everybody's got their fingers crossed that he comes back quickly and smoothly, right? So we have those 3 players in our defensive side. That's going to make a huge difference. I mean, maybe you get one more addition to the defenders. But for the most part, like looking at this lineup, like I don't see anybody else being moved. Taylor, maybe, just for contractual purposes, he might get better money elsewhere. Bright staying, Busquets is staying, Kremaki staying, right? I mean, other than that, maybe Wagon.
Look, and then for everybody, and I'm with you, I think we need to improve our defenders because that's probably one of our weaker points, and that's fine. But a couple things. One, nobody's going to give DP money to a center back. And 2, in the MLS, there aren't many good defenses. I know that it feels like Inter Miami had an absolute horseshit defense this year, but there were only 8 teams in the entire league that gave up less goals than Inter Miami. 8. Yeah, and wild. Then three of those only gave up 1 less than Miami. So in reality, let's say that it's almost like a wash because it was 48 and 49. Outside of those, there was only 5 teams that had a much better defense than Inter Miami. 5 in the entire league. 5 teams had a much better defense than Inter Miami. So, like, I get it. I'm not against you. I am 100%. Maybe we want to improve the center back thing, but it's really not like life or death situation with Inter Miami.
Wow. Upcode with a hot take here saying Dio Crema. Sorry, he's mid.
Mike V said that it's because of calendar. Whether it because of calendar, whatever it is, it is what it is. He's part of the defense technically. Our defense wasn't as bad as people make it out to be.
And Carlos 11 is saying, I think they need a proper left wing, which sort of lends to the whole Neymar deal, right?
Yeah, I mean, again, 8 at that point. Or 7, 8, whatever.
Oh, we're defending with Diego, and we don't even have a Diego Gomez. Imagine that. Without a Diego Gomez.
Mm-hmm.
We haven't even talked about what's going to happen with Rojas. I mean, we don't know if we're going to keep Rojas, if he's going to be
another one.
Yeah. So, I mean, look, we're going to lose a big piece of Diego Gomez. We're definitely going to feel that. That's going to be a move that the team is, we're going to feel it immediately the moment he's gone.
I see somebody putting out here Marcelo. I don't think Marcelo's coming. If he comes to the MLS, he's not coming into Miami. Like, where's he going to play? He's going to take Jordi Alba's spot?
He could play center back.
Oh, Marcelo's pretty small. He's like Jordi Alba. Let's see how tall Marcelo is.
I mean, but look at Noah Allen. Noah Allen is playing center back, dude.
Yeah, but Noah Allen has some pace on him. Marcelo is like 40 years old, I think. Well, he's not 40, but he's up there in age. He's 36. He'll be 37 at the beginning of next year. Not necessarily. He doesn't have the pace and he doesn't have the height. Why would you put him there at center back? And you think that at his age, he's like, yeah, let me go to MLS and start banging with these people in the box? He's not
Yeah.
going to do that. He's 5'9". He's not
I don't
coming here
know.
to play center back.
I don't think that the objective is to go get a big name in defense. I feel like we could still shop in South America and get good defenders like how we have with
100%.
David Martinez and with Freire. I mean, we've done a pretty good. Listen, Chris Henderson's done a good job with doing that, and part of it is Tata probably, but we've done.
And both of those came in to this team, and both of them we talked to people that had even Sebas from Mexico. I figured out Pumas. I think it was the team that he played for. And then we talked to the podcaster from Greece when Freire was coming. We talked to some people from Boca with David Martinez. Everybody said bad things about both of them.
Yeah.
And they've all played well.
They panned out.
In this league, yes. And again, if we improve the defense, that's great. Get a better center back, that's great. But do I think that that's like crucial right now? No. And
this is a critical question here by Paulo Golasso. Is Henderson even going to be here?
I don't think so.
We don't even know that.
We've been hearing that there's a lot of talks with Atlanta and that it might get announced as soon as Atlanta and Miami's both of their seasons are over. So,
oh my goodness.
Now, those are nothing official, but those are the rumblings behind the scenes that we've been hearing.
Yeah. Well, I mean, look, there's not too much to talk about with that. I mean, we know a couple pieces that could probably be moved, but for the most part, Farias will be coming back. And then I think we're gonna stick with the same core. The question is, I think we need to see what happens with Chris Henderson. And then from there, I think we'll have a better idea of what chips are going to be played. So,
yeah. All right.
Let's talk some. Yeah, no, I was just going to say, let's talk some trophies because some people won some trophies this week or some awards.
Well, Inter Miami was a part of a lot of nominations for a lot of these awards.
Yeah.
And so far, they haven't won any, to my knowledge. And for everybody, is like, oh, MLS loves my Inter Miami. They're going to give them everything.
You got nothing.
Newcomer of the year. I felt like Suarez, since he was in the MVP talk, figure that I mean, not a bad selection, right? You come into the league, all of a sudden you're a nominee for the most valuable player of the year. I feel like maybe you should win newcomer of the year if you ended up in those ranks. But he did not get that. Who got it?
Gabriel Peck ended up getting newcomer of the year from I believe, from LA Galaxy.
Yep. Now, he has had a great season. They did not finish first in the West. They finished second in the West. They did not win the Supporter Shield. I haven't checked his stat line, but I mean, look, if they maybe they purposely don't want to give everything to Inter Miami because they plan on giving Messi the MVP, so they want to like soften the blow by not giving them anything else. Maybe that's what it is. I don't know, but I felt like Luis Suarez deserved that one.
Well, and a lot of people are agreeing with you.
Like, what other newcomer was an MVP finalist? None. Only Luis Suarez.
Well, a lot of people are agreeing with you. Suarez was robbed by Akem. Nadir is saying Suarez was robbed newcomer of the year. Janet is saying disappointed for Suarez. Mr. Krabs saying lost out to newcomer of the year to Gabriel Peck. Now, I mean, look, AZ is saying PR merchants. Francisco Garcia is saying PR trophies have to keep many teams happy. I mean, I could see that too.
Look, Peck had a good season, and the Galaxy went from. I mean, they weren't worse than us. Last year, we ended up worse than them, but they were, I think, bottom 1 or 2 in the West, maybe right above Colorado, maybe. Yeah. And they made it all the way to the second in the Western Conference. So, okay, I get it. He helped a lot with that. But, again, if you end up as the Supporter Shield winner, you contributed a lot to that because Messi was gone for some of that part and you carried the team. And then you end up as an MVP finalist. To me, that's newcomer of the year. That's just me, though. I don't know.
Yeah.
All right. And then there was another award. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, no, I was going to get right into that. Comeback player. We also had a play. Well, I mean, I wish we had a player on that list. Mm-hmm. That was actually, I wish we would have had
Ian Frey.
That's right, Ian Frey. We did. Unfortunately, he didn't get the award, which I think kind of sucks. And it's unfortunate that he got injured right before releasing this, because that kind of sucks. That not that it hurt his chances, but it would have been nice to have him playing. Yeah. But comeback player though award went to our boy Lewis Morgan. That's a fan favorite down here in Inter Miami fandom.
Yeah,
so it's kind of like a win-win, a win-loss, loss-win.
I definitely wanted Ian Frey to get it because because we cover Inter Miami, we know the story a little better than the rest of MLS, and we feel closer to it. So I understand why we wanted him to get it. But Lewis Morgan had 13 goals, 7 assists, and he's played. And I'm the first one to say, it doesn't matter that Messi only played half the season. But Ian Frey did play a lot less. I'm not sure how many games he even started. So in this one, although I would have liked to see Frey just because of everything he's gone through.
Yeah.
I look, supposedly Lewis Morgan's injury was so bad that they said that he might not play football again.
Yeah, so, I mean, it's an injury you suffered, I believe, in the first game in 2023.
Mm-hmm.
So shout out to him.
Yeah, but we do love Lewis Morgan. I do wish Ian Frey would have gotten it, but I remember I was surprised at Tom Bogert when he put his predictions or who he voted for or wanted to win. He put Ian Frey. So I'm glad that some people had him on his radar because Ian Frey deserves a lot of credit for everything. But I'm not hating Lewis Morgan either.
Yeah, I mean, look, it went to a good player. It went to a good choice. He sat out the whole season. So it's not like he was just like he wasn't given the award on Higuain standards, right? Yeah. Even though Higuain blew his knee out. Let's just get that out of the way. Yeah. Okay.
Uh-huh. All right,
and then, one more topic, but this is a heavy one.
Yeah, no, we're not gonna get too deep into it. All right, I want to leave this for a chance when we have just a show to just talk about it.
Yeah,
but there's been a lot of stuff circulating around social media about a new calendar starting in 2 years, and they want to follow the European model, where we would start in August. Now, I'm kind of curious because I don't think I've heard your opinion on this. Now, on the MLS show last week, when we were doing the Western Conference episode, we had a guest from from Seattle, Vancouver, Minnesota, and Galaxy. Yeah. And I asked the 4 of them what they thought. And I think what you would assume that they're all going to say, they're in except for the Galaxy, they're all in the Pacific Northwest. Well, Minneapolis not so much, but it gets extremely cold over there. If you wanted to sell tickets, the chances of you either make them play all road games during the winter, or you're just planning on not selling any tickets because it is a horrible idea just based off of that.
Traffic.
What do you think about this with the possibility of the schedule change?
Well, watching the last episode, and for those of you that haven't watched it, guys, tonight is the Battered MLS show at 10 o'clock, 15 minutes. Don't forget, stick around, like the channel right now if you can, and then go and check that out. Last episode that Danny was on with a lot of our West Coast people, they were all talking about how the weather is going to be affecting it, the safety of just getting to the stadium. It seems like you're not even getting groceries when it's snowing.
Yeah, Vancouver said that it's hard to get around, period. Or was it Minnesota? All those places are horrible.
Yeah, I mean, what are you doing? What are you doing? You're going to go shop. You can't even go shopping for groceries, much less go watch a game, right? So that's a disaster. But then we have also this comment by Mr. Krabs that says MLS would get destroyed by the other major sports. If we're speaking in terms of competing, right? The idea that we've always mentioned here is that we're trying to compete. The MLS is trying to compete against the sports here in the United States, not globally,
correct,
not internationally. And doing this puts us in competition directly with them in terms of quality, and also unnecessarily puts us in competition with the biggest league of sports in American sports right now. This isn't baseball, right? Where nobody gives a crap for the most part until November.
And it's not so much that people don't care about baseball. It's just that there's so many games that you watch literally baseball is 7 days a week. So you'll sacrifice a Saturday baseball game to watch your MLS team. You're not sacrificing your Saturday college football team or Sunday NFL team to watch the MLS. At least not in this country.
Danny, I hope you have it locked and loaded, because here we have a nice comment, super slam from Sebas Inter 954. Shout out to you, my friend. My favorite podcast. Keep it up, guys. Awesome. That's a great username.
Shout out to you, Sebas. Appreciate that.
Sebas Inter
much appreciated.
Yeah, man.
Well, you better change it to 305 because we're going to be moving from there in 2026.
Yes. I don't know, man. Getting back to the whole calendar talk, I think starting it in August is going to be hurtful in terms of competing internationally and within the nation. It's awful. No. It's a terrible idea.
The only reason people would want it is because they want us to succumb to the norms of the European
of the scheduling. Yeah.
And the only positive that I see, and this is the only one, and maybe when I sit down and we were going to have a show, so I think about it a little more and I start looking into things. But as of right now, because I haven't put a lot of thought into it, the only positive that I can see is the transfer windows. Because it is, it sucks that usually the biggest transfers happen during the summer because that's the end of their season. End of the season, you move on to start a new season somewhere else. You would come here midway through the season, kind of like Messi did with us.
Yeah.
Whereas if you had the same calendar as everybody else, when the big names are ready to move, they'd be starting a brand new season with you. That is the only positive that I see. You don't get big names usually moving around in the winter, right? And that's when our season begins. So not a lot of big names are starting off the season for the first time with us. Usually they start in the summer, end the season, and then they start a brand new season the next year. Outside of that, and then you go to batteredfans.com.
Yeah, Circus Fund, by the way, for those of you on audio, is asking, where do I go to buy a T-shirt? Danny just said it. He'll probably show something, imaging or whatnot. By the way, chat, if you guys could just chime in, yay or nay, if you're good for the change of the calendar.
Oh, yeah, I am curious to see. And while the chat's doing that, just real quick, because we're almost done here, I did want to make sure one more time. I'm all the way at the bottom. So here you go. This is batteredfans.com. You go ahead, you can click on the store and you just scroll down and you got all your Inter Miami. We got a bunch of stuff here. It's not just Inter Miami, but a lot of Inter Miami. You got your Visca Miami. You got a bunch of stuff here. Different teams. Oh, I clicked on one. Oh, I picked on the Bencrum by accident. But again, a bunch of stuff that you can check out, and it's all 20% off from now until December 10th. So go ahead and check that out with promo code HOHOHO24. So, all right. So I see one nay
right there.
I see one nay, and I haven't seen anybody else. I'm not a fan. Are you a fan, Chris?
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. Nay, nay, nay. No way.
Can we do a I'm sorry, Tata shirt if we win it all? You know what, Bigote? Although I think that's a great idea, I don't think anybody will buy it because all the Tata haters will never admit that Tata gets the credit for winning anything.
I know where Mike V sits. I'll hand him the shirt. I will go and hand you the shirt, Mike V. And I will wear my Phil Neville shirt as well while handing you that shirt.
Yeah, I don't see. But the Julian Gressel one is up in the store if anybody wants to apologize to him. All right. So we're gonna eventually have an episode where we talk and probably invite a couple people on to talk about the calendar thing. Got to find some people that think it's positive. But I do think that would be a fun conversation to have. And the current, yes, it is what makes us different, and it also gives us something to do during the summer. Because if they took away MLS during the summer, then we literally just have baseball. And I'm a baseball fan, as you can see here, right? Like but I need more than just that. So, all right. And you are on mute. So if you're talking to us, Chris, we cannot hear you.
Yeah, sorry. And like at this point, like who cares about baseball? Like baseball season's over already. But I mean, at the same time, like baseball isn't what it used to be. So
I still like it, but I get it.
yeah,
All right. Any final words there, Chris?
that's it, bro. It's let's wait till tomorrow. We get the preview with not Tommy one time.
No, we love Scarves and Spikes. We had Higuita and Henry Higuita on the Spanish show from Scarves and Spikes with us on Monday. We have Sydney from Scarves and Spikes with us tonight on Battered MLS Fans. I'll be previewing the game a little bit with him, along with other MLS podcasters from across the East Coast and I guess LAFC West Coast. We'll be talking about the game threes this weekend. So that's coming on at 10 o'clock. And then tomorrow we'll be joined by Scarves and Spikes Tyler from Scarves and Spikes. So literally everybody from Scarves and Spikes except for Tommy this week. So, but if we beat them, which we should, we'll make sure to have him on next week. We can laugh at him. So that's about it. All right. So again, at 10 o'clock, Battered MLS Fans. So please make sure you join us there. We're gonna have some fun talking, some playoffs, and I think that's it for tonight. So if you are listening on audio, we appreciate you listening all the way to the end. Please leave us 5 stars, comment, review, all that other good stuff. If you're watching on YouTube, thank you for watching all the way to the end. Please like, subscribe, share, tell your friends. And as always, for those of you guys in the chat, especially you, Richard Greenberg, I didn't see you today in the chat, but shout out to you for jumping at the very end. We appreciate you hanging out with us for the last 52 minutes. You guys are the best part of the show. We don't just say that, we mean it. We really are. And we'll be back tomorrow with the preview and in 10 minutes with the Battered MLS Fans talking playoffs. So until the next one, hit the like button and have a good one.